Malan Sahib, distinguished elders, brothers and sisters, comrades and friends, wassalamu alaikum. Peace be with all of you. Well, we've had some good old-time religion this evening here in this church, for which we're extremely grateful, I must say. I must tell you, in all candor, there is only one man in the whole country who could have gotten me away from the television set tonight as a 40-year supporter of Manchester United, playing live against AC Milan in the European Cup. And that's Michael Lavalette. Anybody else I would have cancelled. I would have pled some urgent diplomatic mission which required my attention. But so important is it to me, for reasons which I shall expand upon, that Michael Lavalette be re-elected and buttressed and reinforced by our other three candidates in Preston, that wild horses couldn't have kept me away from this meeting tonight. Considering there's live coverage of the European tie, we have a remarkable turnout. There are, if it doesn't sound too much like Donald Rumsfeld, remember him? He's the man who indicated that it wasn't America's fault that God put America's oil under other people's countries. Not making that up.
Sure.
As Donald Rumsfeld said, there are knowns, there are known unknowns, and there are unknown unknowns. A lot of people thought he was mad, but I understood it. And I've been sitting here thinking that it applies perfectly to Preston. What are the knowns? The first known is that no other political party in Preston, on this of all evenings, could conceivably gather a public meeting like this. In fact, it's a known that most of them don't have the guts to organize public meetings at all, for fear of facing the public whom they've neglected, let down, even betrayed. It's unknown that no other party in Preston has a councillor like Michael Lavalette. Everybody knows that. Even those who hate us know that Michael Lavalette is a councillor not only unlike virtually all in Preston, but unlike councillors anywhere in these islands. And I know, believe me, I have been 40 years in politics nearly, since the age of 13, most of it in the Labour Party, fighting election after election after election as an activist, as an organiser, as a candidate. I couldn't begin to count the number of election campaigns in which I have participated, or the number of councillors I have met. The first thing to say on that is Michael Lavalette is the only man ever to sit in a council for 4 years and be thinner at the end of the 4 years than he was when he went in. Because the first thing that the councillors do is settle down in the town house and start guzzling on the buns and the free alcohol cabinets and the receptions and the banquets and the dinners. And when you meet them 4 years later, well, they've grown a great deal. They're twice the men they used to be, you know what I mean. Michael's still lean and still hungry, which means no disrespect to his wife. He's still lean because he never stops working. Everybody knows that. Even our enemies know that. Morning till night, week after week, issue after issue, small, medium and large, he never stops working. He is the closest thing to a human dynamo that God has sent amongst us. It's also known that there are no other councillors in Preston who can point to a record of work and achievement, putting Preston on the map. On the rubbish campaign with the novel idea, they say taking coals to Newcastle, well, he took rubbish to the Preston Town Hall. Stood in the centre of the park at Deepdale, appealing to people to give aid to those stricken by the tsunami, leading a delegation into Palestine. By the way, Jesus was a Palestinian. It's not that far away. It's not a country of which we know little. It's a place where the three great religions of the world cross over and have an epicenter.
It's very true.
There is nothing obscure or foreign to us about Palestine. We created the tragedy of the Palestinian people. Mr. Balfour himself, when on behalf of one people, he promised a second people the land that belonged to a third people, and then ran away and let might be right. We have, to use Michael's Arabic word, a wajib, a duty to come to the aid of the Palestinians. It shouldn't be remarkable that Michael did it. What's remarkable is that nobody else had done it and that they opposed him when he tried to do it. I declare an interest, and here, on this at least, I can trump the great Michael Lavalette. I am responsible for the twinning of Dundee with Nablus 27 years ago, where we became the first public building in the Western world to raise the Palestinian flag, where it flies still to this day, 27 years. I give you this promise, on behalf of respect, that if we get our councillors elected a week on Thursday, one of their first actions that they will take is to attempt again to twin Preston with Nablus as part of our wajib, as part of our